Pay attention to the woman in the light gray hoodie and dark jeans. Her name is Emily Hart. She is seen walking toward a white front door on Elmwood Avenue in Dayton, Ohio. In her hands, she carries a baby carrier covered with a soft blue blanket. The woman at the door is 29-year-old Samantha Lewis, the child's mother. She smiles as she opens the door, unaware that her 3-month-old son, Noah, is no longer breathing. It is 9:32 p.m. on June 18th, 2021. What looks like a simple exchange between a babysitter and a parent would soon become one of the most disturbing child homicide cases in Montgomery County history. Emily Hart was 24 years old, a quiet young woman who lived less than 10 minutes away. She had built a small client list through a babysitting app and social media posts advertising low rates and flexible hours. To her neighbors, she was polite and reliable. To Samantha, she was someone she could trust. Samantha Lewis worked as a nurse technician at Miami Valley Hospital. She was a single mother raising her first child, Noah. On that Friday evening, she was scheduled for a double shift beginning at 7 p.m. Emily arrived at 7:20. The plan was simple: feed Noah at 8, put him down around 9, and stay until Samantha returned close to midnight. For the first hour, everything appeared normal. At 8:05, Emily texted Samantha saying Noah had finished his bottle and was watching cartoons. At 8:46, a social media post from Emily's account appeared online. A photo of a takeout cup with the caption, "Long night ahead." The timestamp later became critical evidence. At 9:12, the baby monitor in the nursery recorded faint crying. By 9:18, the sound stopped. Samantha's phone logs show no calls or texts after 8:05. She returned home earlier than planned, around 9:30. The CCTV camera mounted on her porch captured the moment Emily handed over the carrier and left in her dark blue sedan. Inside, Samantha placed the carrier on the living room floor and began removing the blanket. Within seconds, she realized something was wrong. Noah's skin was pale, his lips discolored. She dialed 911 at 9:34 p.m. Paramedics arrived within minutes. They attempted to revive the child, but Noah was pronounced dead at 9:44. Emily Hart was not at the scene. She had already driven away. At first, investigators treated the incident as a possible case of sudden infant death or choking, based on what Emily told Samantha in a brief phone call. She claimed Noah began choking, that she tried to help, and when he didn't respond, she panicked and brought him back to his mother. But detectives immediately noted a key inconsistency. If Emily truly believed the baby was choking or in distress, why did she hand him over and walk away without saying a single word to Samantha about his condition? Her calm behavior on the porch contradicted every part of her story. Detectives from the Dayton Police Homicide Unit reviewed neighborhood surveillance footage. They found that Emily left the house once before 9 p.m. for approximately 15 minutes, something she hadn't mentioned. They also noted her calm behavior when she returned the child, a demeanor that raised questions. An autopsy performed by the Montgomery County coroner revealed that Noah's death was not consistent with choking or sudden infant death. There were internal findings indicating asphyxia, suggesting external interference. Toxicology screens showed no medical cause that could explain the event. The death was ruled a homicide. On June 25th, detectives brought Emily in for questioning. She repeated her account of choking and panic, insisting she did everything she could. When confronted with the medical findings, she grew defensive, claiming the examiner must have made a mistake. She denied ever leaving the home. Investigators then showed her the footage placing her car outside the property at 8:50 p.m. She offered no explanation. A search warrant for her vehicle uncovered traces of infant formula, fibers matching Noah's blanket, and faint biological residue on the seatbelt buckle. Forensic testing later confirmed a match to Noah's DNA. The evidence contradicted her claim that she had only placed the carrier on the porch. By July 2nd, the Montgomery County District Attorney charged Emily Hart with first-degree murder, child endangerment, and evidence tampering. She was taken into custody without incident. As the investigation unfolded, prosecutors pieced together a fuller picture of Emily's life. Financial records showed mounting debt and frequent cash withdrawals from payday loan storefronts. Friends told investigators she had been drinking heavily and complained about stress from multiple babysitting jobs. Texts from earlier that week showed her frustration about sleepless nights and noise from children she watched. During the pre-trial hearings, prosecutors argued that Emily lost control in a moment of anger or exhaustion and then attempted to conceal what had happened by fabricating a choking story. The defense described her as an overwhelmed young woman who made a series of poor decisions under panic, not a murderer. Trial began on October 3, 2022 at the Montgomery County Common Pleas Court. Over 7 days, jurors heard from medical experts, forensic analysts, and Samantha Lewis. Surveillance footage from Elmwood Avenue was played in court, showing the quiet handoff on the porch. Prosecutors emphasized how ordinary the exchange looked, the calmness that hid the truth. The most damaging evidence came from Emily's recorded interview. When detectives pressed her about the 15-minute window she couldn't explain, she muttered, "I didn't mean to hurt him." He wouldn't stop crying. The statement was ruled voluntary and admitted in full. On October 11, 2022, the jury found Emily Hart guilty on all counts. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Outside the courthouse, Samantha Lewis stood with family members holding a framed photo of Noah. Her statement was brief. No sentence brings him back, but it brings the truth out. The case drew widespread attention across Ohio, prompting renewed debate about babysitter screening and background checks. In response, Dayton City Council passed new licensing requirements for childcare workers in 2023, mandating verified CPR certification and annual background renewals. Reporters later discovered that Emily had passed her background check through an unregulated private agency that didn't verify criminal history outside state lines. The lapse triggered statewide policy changes. From a procedural standpoint, investigators later described the case as one of the most straightforward yet emotionally difficult of their careers. The combination of home surveillance, digital records, and forensic testing created a complete timeline that left little doubt about the sequence of events. For the community, the case became a lesson in vigilance. Parents organized awareness events under the banner Noah's Law, advocating safer hiring practices for in-home caregivers. Hospitals began distributing checklists for parents hiring sitters, emphasizing training, sobriety, and verification. 2 years later, Samantha moved to Cincinnati, working part-time and volunteering in newborn safety programs. She rarely speaks publicly about the case. Her only comment during an anniversary interview was simple: "I trusted someone who smiled at my door. That trust cost me everything." In prison interviews, Emily Hart has maintained that she never intended harm, claiming exhaustion and confusion led to a tragic mistake. She has filed one appeal, arguing that the evidence was circumstantial and that her confession was taken under stress. The appellate court upheld the conviction in 2024. The home on Elmwood Avenue has since been sold. The new owners declined media contact. The driveway camera remains in place, the same one that captured the final exchange between a babysitter and a mother, unaware that her world had already changed. This is the story of Noah Lewis, born March 9th, 2021, died June 18th, 2021. His mother, Samantha, keeps his photo on her nightstand. She says it reminds her of faith, not anger. And it's the story of Emily Hart, a woman whose choices destroyed 2 lives in less than an hour. A quiet driveway, a gray hoodie, a blue sedan, and a decision that ended a child's life. The camera captured everything except the moment the truth disappeared from view. Thanks for watching Undocumented. Every case told here is fiction, but crimes like these have happened in real life. The message is real. Stay aware. Be careful. Subscribe and hit the like button for more undocumented crimes like this.